Thanks for watching Wednesday Debate Live with Taghreed Hussein here on Nile TV International. Today is a very special day as Egypt and the whole world are celebrating the International Day of Peace. Each year, the International Day of Peace is observed around the whole world on the 21st of September. And the UN General Assembly has declared this day devoted to strengthening the ideals of peace. Of course, this important day and true peace is entailing and requiring building of societies where all the members feel united, feel that they can flourish together. Nile TV International, the voice of Egypt to the whole world, is also celebrating today the International Day of Peace. And tonight, we're really honored and blessed to be sending messages of peace and love to the entire world. Harmony from Egypt, the land of peace, the cradle of civilizations to the whole region. And because we all have a role to play in fostering this sense of unity, love and peace to the whole world, Nile TV is inviting everyone today to join forces and to work towards a world which is full of peace, full of harmony, full of coexistence, a world where compassion and empathy prevails, a world that we could be really proud of. And we are really proud of today by having a very distinctive panel honoring Nile TV International on that special day in sending this message of peace, hope and love to the entire world. A very distinctive panel. I'm really honored and blessed to have with us His Excellency Archbishop Nicholas Thevenin, the Vatican Ambassador to Egypt. Your Excellency, thank you so much. We're really honored, Nile TV, by your gracious presence.
Thank you. The honor is mine. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you. And we're really honored to have, as always, our distinguished, eminent novelist and professor, global strategic strategist, the one who represents Egypt globally, Professor Dr. Zaki. Thank you so much, Professor Zaki, for being with us.
It's always a pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
And it's a great, blessed night where we join forces together here on Nile TV International to send those messages of love, peace to the entire world. A short break and we will be back. So the 21st of September, a very significant timing and date, and also a very significant message to the whole world. We're really blessed to have with us, of course, definitely, His Gracious Archbishop Nicholas Thevenin, Vatican Ambassador to Egypt. And whenever we remember Vatican honor, Pope Francis, we always remember Pope Francis and his visit to Egypt. And he once said, I'm really honored to visit the land where the Holy Family had settled and had visited. This is really a very honorable moment, and we find that we are always there remembering those words that have a very significant message of peace and love to the whole world, Ambassador.
Sure, and I think it's also very symbolic that this took place in Egypt, precisely the country and the people have been welcoming Jesus Christ in the family, in the Holy Family. And I think it's a very important thing to underline these days of International Day of Peace, the importance of the family, and especially the example of the Holy Family, and the fact that the Holy Family chose, by the events, but I would say by the providence of God, to go to Egypt. it's symbolic, and it's symbolic also that Pope Francis, when he came here 5.5 years ago, wanted to underline the importance of the country of the refuge of the Holy Family.
Yes, definitely. It is a very significant moment. Professor Zaki, its history and religious significance. The Holy Family's visit to Egypt had bestowed on the country a unique honor and also a unique blessing, and made Egypt one of the most sacred centers of the whole world. So remembering this honor and how it gave the Egyptian Coptic Church a special position, so to speak.
That's a beautiful question. Thank you so much. And as a Copt myself, like all Copts in Egypt, either Christians or Muslims, feel so blessed and honored that God chose Egypt and not another country. And this has a history because God chose Egypt when Abraham and Sarah left their home land because of famine, and they came to Egypt to find, better life. Mm-hmm. And even after Isaac, when he had his children, Jacob and Esau, and when Jacob's son Joseph, when his brother sold him to the Egyptians, he felt refugee in Egypt, and he came to Egypt when he was only 17 years old, and he stayed till his death at the age of 120 years old. And then came Moses to take the children of Israel out of Egypt. And then God so loved Egypt that he wanted to gain back the family back, the Holy Family back to Egypt. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Lord, for having this reconciliation, mm-hmm. that out of Egypt, Moses took the people of Israel and back to Egypt as a great country to host the Holy Family, to host Jesus' baby at the age of 2 until the age of 4, and to host Virgin Mary and Joseph, and to have this very tough journey until they reached Egypt, from Sinai till south of Egypt, till Asyut. What a tough journey. And every step they put their feet on the land of Egypt is so blessed. Even the Nile is so blessed.
Yes.
So we are so grateful to God. We are so thankful to God to choose Egypt as this place. And I always agree when Pope, our great Pope, His Eminence Pope Tawadros, when he always says, if the word in the hands of God, Egypt is in the heart of God.
How nice and wise, and definitely from your words, actually, Professor Mona, you're talking about how Egypt is blessed by having the Nile, and how Nile TV is blessed also by your gracious presence tonight. As we all know, Egypt as a Vatican pilgrimage destination. The late Coptic Pope Shenouda III had already approved itineraries drawn up for Christian pilgrims visiting Egypt to follow the route. During an audience in St. Peter's in Rome, that was back in 2017, so like a flashback of history, Roman Catholic Pope Francis blessed an icon by a Vatican artist representing the Holy Family's journey in Egypt, and gave his blessings to the millions of Christians around the world who want to follow in the Holy Family's footsteps. So it's very significant, Your Excellency.
It is indeed.
Yeah, adding Egypt to the Roman Catholic pilgrimage list. And Your Excellency had visited sites already.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. See, we have about 26 different spots in Egypt where Holy Family stopped according to the tradition, and they are very ancient monasteries or ruins which are from northern Sinai to the south to Muharraq and Ronca. And what you feel is that it's just a recognition of what is true. I mean, there has been this refuge for the Holy Family, and I would say something more. This is the place where Jesus Christ made his first footstep in life, where he learned the very basic things. And this is very important also for us to think that the sanctification of the family took place first in Egypt.
Yes.
And that's why I think in the framework of the International Day of Peace, we really have to underline this. The benediction we have in Egypt to have been those who gave hospitality to the Holy Family. And also I think that the Egyptian family at the moment can be an example also for peace and developing peace from the roots of the family.
Yes, drawing peace from the roots of the family, and yes, because the family is the nucleus of the society, and definitely a good family is always transmitting those vibes of love and of hope. Professor Mona, from the eyes of a global strategist, and I know quite well that you have an inspiring rhythm while thinking of novels and also writing. So the Holy Family journey is in itself an inspiration because we can learn many lessons from the journey of the Holy Family. And I know quite well that Egypt, by welcoming pilgrims from all over the world, you know, what a better thing could like brand Egypt globally?
You see, as His Eminence Archbishop Monseigneur has just mentioned, when we celebrate the International Day of Peace, and when we read with the New Testament in Saint Luke, when all the angels in heaven celebrating the birth of Jesus, and they were saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and peace on earth, and goodwill toward men." So that's the whole message. Glory to God. Peace comes from glorifying God. Peace comes to earth with Jesus' teachings. You see, the love, the values of love, the values of forgiveness. When Jesus gave us the good example and the role model, how to forgive, even on the cross, when his hands were stretched on the cross, he said, "Heavenly Father, forgive them as they don't know what they are doing." So the key word here, strategically, is to fight ignorance. Ignorance and lack of love and lack of information, lack of the knowledge of what is God. God is love. God is giving, God is forgiveness, He loves people, mankind. He created him on His image. So men have, here we say, a goodwill toward man. So this is a celebration. It's a celebration for humanity. So when we talk strategically, it's for the sake of humanity, for the sake of love, for the sake of peace, for the sake of existence, of living in fraternity, living in peace together, living in harmony together with all kinds of religions, with all kinds of races, with all kinds of beliefs and different colors and different backgrounds. Peace counts, and I invite the whole world to come and see this path of the Holy Family to Egypt, because they were received by the Egyptians.
Yes.
Jesus and the Holy Families, Virgin Mary and Saint Joseph, when they came to Egypt, they were received by, how come they stayed for almost 4 years? Because they found hospitality, they found love, they found generosity from the Egyptians themselves. They were all Egyptians living in Egypt. So strategically and ideally is to brand the need to come and see and walk the same journey of the Holy Family, to be blessed for their own sake, not just to promote Egypt on a touristic side or a historical side or a marketing side. Is I'm giving you a chance to come and be blessed by this visit come
Yes.
and see, as Monseigneur was just mentioning, the first steps. Jesus put his hands on the land of Egypt. The first water he drank, the first cup of water he drank was the water from the Nile, from out the water of Egypt. So this is a blessing for the visitors to come. So hopefully we promote and we brand the visit as a blessing to the visitors more than as a great international location or international touristic destination to the tourists.
Yes. Your Eminence, Egypt and the Vatican, well, both countries have common cultural as well as social interests with respect also to interreligious dialogue.
Exactly.
And we've done a lot together. And President Sisi had always expressed his appreciation of Pope Francis' humanitarian stances around the whole world, fostering those bilateral relations. Definitely the sky is the limit.
What is important, I think just Dr. Zaki told us, that education is the key, and knowing each other and leaving aside all the prejudices. And I think when Pope Francis decided to come here and visit also Grand Imam, to visit President Sisi, the most important was to start, to restart, I would say, to make it more profound. Dialogue of, first of all, speaking to each other.
His Eminence, yeah.
Very nice, the flashback
of the visit, of course, the historic visit, yes.
And pushing for this, pushing for that kind of mutual understanding, and try to listen to each other, know each other better, and build that relationship, that kind of mutual comprehension. And I think really Egypt is a country in which historically you have felt this. See, it's a country in which Joseph, after he was exiled and sold by his brother to Egyptians, he gave his forgiveness to his brothers. It's a country in which Jesus Christ and the Holy Family found peace, welcome, and I would also here, I like to thank very much the Egyptian people for their welcoming in the past 2.5 years I've been here, and the warm, very warm welcome they gave to Pope Francis 5.5 years ago. Because I think for many people it's a new era which is starting. We cannot go on with ignorance, which is always being manipulated by people who want to use for their own, I would say, economic or political interest.
True. Yeah.
And we need really to have this kind of understanding. We are the same people. And Egypt for this is important, not only because Al-Azhar is so important for Islam, but also because historically, and I would say from the heart, this is something that we can realize. See, in my travels to Upper Egypt, I went to Dronka and Muhar, and I could feel the footstep of Jesus there. I could feel this presence which is still there, and which is going beyond all religion. This interaction which is there between people. I'm going to the villages in Upper Egypt, for example. Everybody's welcoming. I mean, be there Christian, Coptic Orthodox, Catholic, Muslim, everybody's there. And it's something which is so spontaneous in the Egyptian people. And I think that's, well, the authorities also are working on that, trying to build this unity, which is based, as Dr. Zaki was saying very clearly, on education. Education is the base for avoiding extremism. It's a base for building together on common values. There are so many common values, and especially one fundamental one is family. And in many countries, especially in the so-called developed world, family has been attacked. And in Egypt, I think, even if always we have to make efforts on the respect of the younger one, of the women, but if we have these values of the family, we can build a lot.
Yes, respecting the values of the family, and I guess this came in many of your writings, Professor Mona, also in your latest novel, In the Kingdom of the Heart. We saw how you fought for definitely safeguarding the values of the family, and safeguarding also the principles of love and optimism and hope, away from any sort of fanaticism, away from any sort of violence.
Absolutely. Yeah, in this novel, I stressed very much on on the unconditional love and the role of the mother in bringing up her children, not just to love each other, but to love the other.
Yes.
And to love the country, and to love the good, to love the goodness in people, and to forgive, and the national and the national sense and the national unity. Those two officials, the two officers, one is Christian and the other is Muslim, and each one died for his colleagues.
Yes.
And also the forgiveness,
the values of sacrifice,
and the terrorism attacks, and how when they killed the priest, his wife forgave the criminals and the terrorists, and she was giving. It's unbelievable. That's the whole point. Is this forgiveness because of ignorance? She was when Jesus said, "Love your enemy." Your enemy is not the human being. Your enemy is the ignorant, the ignorant person, the ignorance that leads to fights, that leads to hatred, that leads to terrorism and fanatism. So as Monseigneur was mentioning, hopefully that this education that will start in schools and in families, this nucleus, interaction, I do hope that mothers and fathers teach their kids how to love each other and how to accept the other and to love the other, and also the family. And also I can see the push and the stress from the government itself and from His Excellency the President of Egypt, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, is so much eager to really embrace this and to empower these feelings among Egyptians and the education among Egyptians by his attendance to the Christmas celebration on the 7th of January in the cathedral, and the Sheikh al-Azhar, Dr. Ahmed al-Tayyib, Grand Imam, who is giving this lots of we have this document for fraternity with
and we have a very solid foundation of mutual respect between His Eminence the Pope of the Vatican and the Grand Imam,
the Grand Imam,
the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar. As we can see, it has always been those warm meetings.
You can see the love, the mutual respect, the mutual appreciation.
Yes.
So
it's to complete what I was thinking is that loving God means concretely love the people, the places, the country where you live.
Yes.
And if you appreciate what you have, if you appreciate the people who are there, whom you didn't choose, you didn't choose them, but they are the people and the country that God is offering you.
Yeah.
And another thing I would like to underline was the fact that it's so important for us to recognize the providence of God so often. Sometimes we can take badly some remark done by somebody and feel bad, but we have always to think God is providing for the best for us at any moment. And the dialogue which has been started, it doesn't mean that we don't have differences, but the mere fact of speaking to each other, the mere fact of, see, I really, 1 year ago we celebrated 10 years of House of Egypt, Layla, which I think is an institution which really
played a very important
role.
Yeah.
Not only because it was first a dialogue between Pope and Pope Tawaros and the Grand Imam, but it has been also widened to all the different confessions, and I've seen it also on a local level. In my very often traveling to Upper Egypt and other places in the country, I can realize sometimes there was a problem in a village, and the local association of Beit Layla, they tried to avoid a problem between two families, a Muslim and a Christian family. I'm not saying they succeeded 100% in solving all the problems, but they avoided bigger problems. And I think it's a huge footstep because these institutions, the mere fact that they exist and that they're functioning, means a lot.
Yes.
It means there is a spirit which is coming, and a spirit which is, and I think people at the end, they don't like fighting. Egyptians, always I'm saying, when
Loving and peaceful.
they may speak loudly,
Yeah.
and it seems for a foreigner that they're shouting and fighting each other. But at the end, they just embrace
They
each
hug,
other. And
yeah.
That's
They are
it.
very cordial and very
And
peaceful.
Egyptians have no
Loving.
tradition of being warriors and fighting. And that's something which, that's why I think it's also the example. Why did the Pope came here? Why did he come here? Just because, of course, he wanted to meet Pope Tawadros and Shaham al-Tayyib. But it was also because it's a symbol. When a country is this natural disposition, I would say, for thousands of years of welcoming, of trying to not to fight but find a solution, and this is also, I think, what has to be pushed in the education, in the families, and we surely have to make a greater effort on education. I would say, following also what Pope Francis is saying, we have to have a greater respect also for what God has given us. I was saying, loving God means also loving the people, the places, the country where you are. But loving the country means also respecting its nature. And now we are going to have in November this COP27 meeting about
Yes.
environment and climate changes. I think it's important from the right beginning to the children and the families at that school to teach them how to respect. Starting from very simple things. Not throwing away papers, respecting the neighbors. This is part of global education, which is helping human relations.
Yes. Very important what His Eminence is saying, and
Yes.
what we've seen footage actually at the Congress of Leaders of the World and Traditional Religions of Kazakhstan.
Exactly.
Pope Francis was the first religious leader to speak, and he was seated in the place of honor next to the country's president. His Eminence, the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, was the first to greet him, as always. So we've seen those noble feelings of friendship and love and honor between both religious leaders, working together for years, actually, to fight any sort of violence and fanaticism. Soft power has been also playing a very important role,
Absolutely.
Professor Mona, in fighting fanaticism and violence.
That's the hope. Soft power is our hope now.
Yeah.
I do.
Fighting religious fanaticism.
Yeah. Soft power versus hard power.
Power.
Yeah. We had enough of hard power. We hope we finish with hard power after the what's going on internationally now with all those wars and economic sanctions and all those military interventions. I do hope and pray that the next era will be the era for soft power. I do hope for peace and good, for the good of the man. And as Monseigneur was just mentioning, is the awareness and the education. And through soft power means, through soft power tools, through culture, through art, through education, through even sports, through diplomacy, through media.
Yeah.
Those are all the tools for soft power, and they are our hope to have a better future. And I believe that we are on the right track. We are working now on a very big event during Christmas with His Eminence the Pope, Pope Tawadros, and the El Ahram Institute. We're organizing a big exhibition and a big seminar. And of course, Monseigneur will be the first to be addressing
this,
the welcoming
gathering.
remarks, and we will have the Grand Imam and El Ahram chairman, and of course Pope Tawadros, and this will be a great chance to celebrate the birth of Jesus. If we say we are 2022. It's because Jesus was born 2022 years ago. So we live Jesus every second and every day. So the whole point here is through soft power. We need to teach, we need to educate this kind of love and this kind of understanding and tolerance.
Yeah.
Through drama. In my novel we discuss this, and in my coming novel also we're discussing those issues. And I'm very optimistic because the present is very
Rich.
rich. Our past is very rich, so our future is going to be even richer. So in this, when I say strategic thinking, and I always share with you and Monseigneur, there is always a spiritual dimension for strategic thinking. We have a great vision, and we will achieve it by working very, very hard, by trusting that God is blessing what we do. I always say, do your best, but trust God for the rest. And I think Egypt is doing its best to promote those values and to promote this particular issue of the Holy Family journey to Egypt. And God will bless this, will bless the hard work we do on all levels, not just the Holy Family journey path, but also the economic, the political, the cultural, everything related to this beautiful country, Egypt.
Yes.
Amen.
Let me thank you especially for one thing. It's wonderful to see a country in which a television, big television like Nile TV is making such a program.
Yes.
Thank you
I think
so much.
hopefully there will be more programs of
Yes.
that kind, of that deepness in other countries, to develop not only hatred or judgment about the others, but that kind of spirit which is very profound, speaking of very important topics which are really helping developing the people and developing knowledge between each other, but also love between each other.
Yes.
And I really want to thank you and thank Nile TV for
lots
that.
of things to unite us more than
Exactly.
more than things that would make us apart.
And see all these values which are there.
Yeah.
And not speaking always bad things. I mean, of course we have to be realistic and see the reality. But let's see also and develop what is good. Because, I mean, God is good, and good has created people with the goodness. And, I mean, Christ has overcome the evil and has killed the evil, has killed. So it's so important to be positive, not to be idealistic and say there are no problems. Not what we are saying, but thinking positively and what we can build together. Not only people, we all need positive things. We all need things which are
rays of hope.
Exactly. Otherwise, I mean, it's so all shade. I'm not saying we should avoid and not being open to what the reality and the sad reality of what is happening in the world at the moment, with so many other interests hiding themselves between so many apparently very good principles. But the true thing is to try to develop deeply this kind of relationship. And once again, I thank you so much. I thank Nile TV for this occasion to speak about deep and important topics for human beings, not only in Egypt, but in all the world.
Thank you very much, Your Eminence. It's really a certificate of honor for the channel.
I
your
fully agree.
presence.
I fully agree with every word
Thank you, Your
Monseigneur
Eminence.
has said.
Thank you so much. Let's
100%.
watch together an ILTV production on Egypt, the land of religions. Let's watch what the mother of the world has to offer. Let's watch together.
Yes, sure.
Egypt is the land of all religions. It was on Mount Sinai in Egypt that Allah talked to Moses and he received his mission. Egypt sheltered the Holy Family and offered martyrs and saints throughout centuries. In the modern age, Egypt continues to keep the same spirit of tolerance that it has been known for.
Caro popolo d'Egitto, assalamu alaikum.
Today, from Egypt, all religions take up the call of peace, equality, and dignity of all humans.
Tahiyanis.
Egypt unites humanity. Yes, here on Nile TV International, we're extending tonight and on the International Day of Peace, a very significant date today, the 21st of September, the gracious presence of His Eminence. And we have also more than one production of Nile TV International highlighting the trip of the Holy Family. Let's see this report and we'll be back.
That, according to the tradition of the Coptic Orthodox Church, witnessed their journey in Egypt, starting in North Sinai and heading south to Asyut. Many of the places where the Holy Family is said to have stayed have become churches, chapels, and monasteries. Reviving the Path of the Holy Family is an Egyptian project held under the directives of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. In this respect, throughout the last years, several stops on Egypt's Holy Family Trail were inaugurated after restoration, as the Tourism and Antiquities Ministry has initiated various projects for developing and upgrading the several stops of the Holy Family's route. No doubt that the Holy Family Trail is a tourist attraction that is unique to Egypt, and in this regard, the government has allocated £60 million for the development of the stops on it, and the restoration of monuments included, along with upgrading facilities installed to assist visitors following the route of the Holy Family's sojourn in Egypt. Throughout this mega national project, a huge number of churches, chapels and monasteries are being restored, such as St. Gergis and St. Beshois churches in Cairo, the Church of the Blessed Virgin Mary and Martyr Ebenub in Gharbiya, alongside upgrading the various holy and religious sites at Wadi Natrun in El Bahira Governorate, as well as the Virgin Mary tree located at Matariya district in Cairo. The roads leading to these historical religious sites have been extended and paved, sunshade seats and signage have been installed, and landscaping work has been done on the area surrounding the monasteries and churches renovated. The project of reviving the Holy Family Trail aims to turn the Path of the Holy Family in Egypt into an international tourist destination, the very thing that will contribute directly to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, promoting the preservation of culture and heritage, supporting the creation of new sustainable local jobs, diversifying local economies, improving revenues and raising the citizens' living standards. The goals of renovating the Holy Family Trail also include developing poor areas and communities located along the route of the Holy Family Trail in the Delta and Upper Egypt, bringing them a decent life.
So, a very important project in addition to the various points of the Holy Family Trail that have been restored and also developed in Old Cairo. We have more than one, Samanout, Tel Basta, Sakha, Wadi Natrun, the Virgin Mary Monastery, its authentic church that is standing on top of the Jabal Atir, or the Mountains of Birds in Samalut, Minya Governorate. Exactly. This was also restored. The same went for the Virgin Mary tree. So, Your Eminence, how does such a project, is very important in cementing Egypt's position as a center of culture and a religious center, let me say?
I think, as Dr. Mona Zaki was saying, we have to focus on the fact that it's both an historical, archaeological, and also cultural, of a cultural interest. But I think mostly it should be also focused on a pilgrimage. And my wish would be that very soon we could go first, maybe as diplomats, in northern Sinai, and really follow the footsteps of the Holy Family, and discover the welcome of the people everywhere. Because what is important, I think, that when people are coming from outside, they not only discover the places, the monasteries, the ruins, whatever, but they discover the sceneries and the people. I think it would be very good to organize, not only because, I mean, everywhere I've been in the monasteries, the welcome has been wonderful everywhere. And I'll say I've been to so many monasteries of the Coptic Orthodox Church. I went also to Mount Sinai, which is not a Holy Family trip, but it's also very much to see with the history of salvation. And meeting with people is also creating, not for only touristic purposes, but to see the reality of the heart of the Egyptian people. And it is also part of the education of love, of mutual understanding, and of appreciating each other, not only because people are bringing money, because this is not a commercial thing which will last. What is
So true.
lasting is when people feel with their heart that they are home. And really, I've been here for a bit more than 2.5 years. I feel home.
Yeah.
I feel it's also, I mean, it's my home. I feel when I'm being received here, not because of me, because they always welcome Pope Francis through me. And whoever they are Egyptians, and they're welcoming the one who is being sent by the Pope to Egypt. And I think even for people who are coming for a pilgrimage along the footpath of the Holy Family, they should feel this. What is most important, you feel from the people the heart. You feel what they have deep inside. It's not a matter only of intelligence, it's a matter of the heart. And in all human relationship, we have to make everything go from the brain to the heart.
Yeah.
And let's inspire ourselves by what God has put in ourselves.
Let's inspire ourselves
So
by what
true.
God has put in ourselves. And
beautiful.
this is definitely the motto of our episode
Yes, you're so
tonight, Your Eminence. And it is definitely a blessed message that Your Eminence is sending through Nile TV International to the whole world. As President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi is investing in the human capital, Professor Mona. And as His Eminence was saying, like what is from the heart easily goes to the heart. Let's
Absolutely.
make our journey quite inspiring. How unconventional can we like put it in this way? Because I know that you have a very distinctive touch in like drawing a vision for marketing. So marketing this beautiful journey, how can we like portray it before the world?
Yeah, I will build my answer on what Monseigneur was just saying, because, for example, one of the places the Holy Family has visited and stayed, and Virgin Mary gave birth to the baby Jesus, one of those places is Mustorud. And Mustorud is where I got baptized.
Yeah, the Virgin Mary tree.
Yeah, I got baptized in Mustorud.
Ah, okay.
So this area, there is to answer your question, how to become unconventional with ideas. And
Exactly.
so this area, we built a medical center to help everybody, Muslims and Christians. We built an educational center. And even there is a huge project with the Ministry of Petroleum, and it was just inaugurated last week. So, with the journey of the Holy Family, each stop they made, in each stop, not only a church, not only a monastery, but there is also a development in the area. You see, we develop the place. We give love, as Monseigneur was mentioning, is to share the spirit of the Holy Family in action. Put things in action. Act love.
Yeah.
You see? And acting love gives hope,
Yes.
gives happiness.
Yes.
gives tolerance, gives forgiveness, gives the future, gives la joie de vivre. You enjoy life. You need to be happy to live a life of love, you see?
Yeah.
And what better love can be than the love of God to you? God loves us. God created humankind and he loves him and he wants him to be happy. So the whole point is when we invite people to come and go through this journey, as Monsignor was mentioning, they see they will be blessed by the love of God, by the love of the people, and also by the development that happened in the area itself. People work hard, people work together, people love each other. So I do hope that we really invest more and more in human capital through the love of God, through the love for work, through the love for each other, changing this culture, changing the culture of separation and marketing a culture of unity, of fraternity, of love and of acceptance and of tolerance.
Yeah.
So I do hope it will, and it's going to work, I'm sure. With hard work and God's blessing, it's going to succeed.
I do agree with you. I think in
I'm sure.
human relationship, it should be
Yeah.
a win-win relationship.
100%.
Never somebody trying to fool the other. And if selfishness or just desire of power is there, I think we have always to rethink of what power means. The one who is in charge, whatever the level, he has got to make a service. And that's the big difference between power and authority.
Yes.
And it's something which we have to think of. Authority comes from God, and it is a delegation. Power is something you want to grab and to maintain, but without a spirit of service. Whereas if you have authority, you know that you receive this from God and you have to serve. You are
Yes.
just a servant.
Yes.
And you do your best. You put all your capacity, because serving, you will develop everybody. If you want to serve yourself, help yourself, that's not what God is asking us to do, but to make grow the universe. He gave it to us to develop it. And that's why, coming to what is coming very soon, in November, this conference about environment and the coming feast of Christmas, this is the spirit we have to think. We have to build together and not trying to put aside the people and get more money and be. It's not a matter of, as I was saying, it's a win-win relationship which we have to develop.
Definitely, and I extend, upon this occasion, my many thanks to Your Eminence for your presence, and
Thank you.
hopefully you'll be our guest of honor on our Christmas party that Nile TV throws, and while celebrating
Yes.
the new year, the coming year, 2023, may it be a year full of love, happiness, and
peace, yes.
and peace, definitely, to the whole world, to Egypt and the whole world. Why don't we enjoy some soft power, and by the voice of Egypt and Rem?
Thank you very much.
Let's watch.
السلام والمحبة والحكمة عيسى ومحمد اللي رسالته رحمة للعالمين، وفي كل جامع في البلد دي أو كنيسة هتلاقي ناس متجمعين من ناحيتين. السلام والمحبة والحكمة عيسى ومحمد اللي رسالته رحمة للعالمين، وفي كل جامع في البلد دي أو كنيسة هتلاقي ناس متجمعين من ناحيتين. ده مسيحي وفي رمضان في بيته تلاقي زينة واقف يوزع تمر في إشارة مرور. وعيد ميلادك يا مسيح بالنسبة لينا ده يوم عارفين وواعيين يعني ايه معنى الوطن، وده سر مع بعض واقفين من سنين ضد الزمن بنحبك. عارفين وواعيين يعني ايه معنى الوطن، على كلمة واحدة متجمعين شايلين بلدنا في قلبنا. الدين لرب العالمين أما الوطن لنا كلنا. الدين لرب العالمين أما الوطن لنا كلنا.
Yes, religion belongs to God and Egypt belongs to us all. As we always say in Arabic, دائما تحيا مصر. Always
تحيا مصر.
live long Egypt. It was a beautiful episode tonight, and
Thank you very much.
I'm really honored by your gracious presence. Thank you so much for
The honor is
joining,
mine. Thank you so much.
joining Nile TV International. Your Eminence Archbishop Nicholas Thevenin, Vatican Ambassador to Egypt. You really honored us today. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
much. All the best.
And blessed
All-
Nile TV with your presence.
God bless you also. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're really honored, as always, to have our bright face of Egypt to the world. Professor Dr. Zaki, our bright novelist and distinctive professor and global strategic consultant. Thank you so much, Professor, for coming.
God bless you too. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
God bless you, dear viewers. And we'll meet again here on Nile TV International tomorrow, another team on the Daily Debate. I'm Taghreed Hussein, thanking you all for watching.